Waldorf.
And this is Statler.
And today we got Battle Report 92.
092.
Countdown continues. 8
Yes.
left. What's going to happen at 100? Nothing.
We're going to croak.
Could be.
Yeah.
Orcs and Goblins versus Infernal Dwarves.
At Huzzah Hobbies.
It's 4,500 point game with a club mate. And that's it. Kind of just normal, standard, get together and play.
There you go.
We're currently not practicing for much.
And this particular opponent has a proper Infernal Dwarf.
He does. And we do have Mountain Mayhem coming up.
With the proper headgear.
He's got the proper head, the big hat stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have Mountain Mayhem coming up in October 21st and 22nd, but that's our next big tournament coming. Here's the army list. Minor change from before. I'm going with 6 feral feral orcs.
And we're at 4,500.
Still 45. 2 units of 6 feral orcs rather than the 5 mounted Ed Bashers. Just to kind of play around, see which ones I like better. So there you have it. Deployment. It was diagonal, and what was the secondary objective on this one? I do not know what the secondary objective would have been. It was hold the center.
Was it?
Yes, it was definitely hold the center.
Okay.
We did not put a marker down.
Okay.
But this one was hold the center. Now that I think about it. Okay.
And we have a tower.
We have a tower on the top left. We have woods. There are, you can see some hobgoblins hiding in there, barely. There's a hill moving across the top. There's a hill, a fence, a tower, big field, and a woods down here on the bottom right.
And a tower.
Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, on the bottom left off the screen, there is another hill.
Okay, so, and a tower.
And a tower. The top right, yes. The tower is at the top right. And the fence is in the center.
Next to the tower.
Next to the tower. And there are the 2 units of hobgoblins hiding in the...
okay.
These are hobgoblins. What he's got is he's got 2 units of hobgoblins here with hand weapon, shield, and bow.
Okay.
2 units of 20. He's got 2 bolt throwers.
Far from the...
Oh, there's also back behind him.
Oh, I see somebody standing there.
There's a hobgoblin hero and a wolf.
Okay.
Up on top of the hill, he's got 2 bolt throwers.
I like those models.
The big unit here on the front of those are the disciples.
Okay.
Disciples, yes. The really good
Disciples
guys.
of Luger?
No, these are the. They're not the frenzied guys. They're the disciples. What is the name of that unit? Anyway, so they're.
Oh, just the guard infantry
the
guys.
good guys. The really good
and
ones.
special.
Right. The right ones to their right are the Citadel Guard guys, the core guys.
Okay.
Citadel, whatever the core warriors are called.
Right, and what are they armed with?
Hand weapon and shield.
Okay. No great weapon.
No great weapons.
No shooting.
And no, he did not even buy them the
Blunderbusses.
The blunderbusses. They're only a point apiece, but the blunderbuss is just not a good weapon.
No, it's not.
Behind them, he has 5 of the monstrous infantry that flies. The Kadem.
They fly?
Yes, they fly 6.
I didn't realize they flew.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got his Infernal engine and a unit of 5 Centaur Cav.
Right, the small ones, the old school ones.
Correct. So that's what you got. He ended up deploying this guy. He vanguarded out to here, moved 18 on his first turn.
Okay.
Ducked behind the hill.
Using the hill for cover.
Doesn't want any part of those boar boys charging him. There's the center of the board. Finally showed up.
There you go.
My Goblin Raiders moved off here to the right. Just plunk some shots into some stuff.
Yep.
And we go on with turn 1. I went first. He advanced forward a bit. Not much. Rather have him come to me.
Yeah, you got the shooting advantage.
I definitely have a shooting advantage. And you can see just kind of setting up, getting ready for him to come in. Up on the top, my raiders have moved off out of his arc and going to shoot up the centaurs.
Just for my own curiosity, why do you have the 2 goblin units forward and the 1 goblin unit back?
Fanatics. I mean, Madgets.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get forward and let these... What I want to do is I want to get up, launch them, and then flee.
Okay.
Go ahead and flee. I like fleeing with them.
Okay.
I don't do it enough, but I like doing it.
Okay.
And I figure with his army, he's got a small elite army.
Yes.
Which will give me plenty of opportunity to do that.
Right.
Is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
When I did that.
Okay.
So I get off a long range fireball and get 2 wounds on one of his bolt throwers.
Mm-hmm.
There's his there's his Infernal engine. He was showing me this model. I like this model. Just a neat little model he found.
Oh, it's not a conversion?
No, it's a neat little model. He said he found somebody that 3D prints these.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's fairly inexpensive,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, kind of a neat little model. I like it.
Yeah.
For what it is. By the way, this is the one with the 3D3 grinding.
Okay.
Does not shoot.
Okay.
So he needs to replace the gun on top.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Hobgoblins over here. Move forward a bit. Elsewhere, guy's coming into the center. He's just advancing towards me. Go to turn 2. So there we have the overall picture going in. I've got no charging. So again, I just move the orange spider further out here to the left, to the right, left.
Threatening his flank?
Left. To threaten his flank if he wants to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
You can see on the opposite side, the purple spider over there on the right is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, coming forward, moving, just challenging him. His Infernal engine has the correct random movement where he can only charge forward.
Right.
In his forward arc. So I'm not that scared. You can see... doesn't have a good shot of it. But there on the... Just sticking out of the edge of this tower, you can see the Goblin Raiders.
I see them, yeah.
They are 12.5 inches away from here, the front of them. So if he wants to charge me, he can. He can crush them.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll give me a 12.5 inch charge into his centaurs.
Okay.
With these guys. With the mounted orcs. Which I'll gladly take. He's the same initiative as I am. So it's just mutual destruction.
What's he armed with?
I don't know.
Looks like he's got great weapons, and I don't know if it's what he's using.
I think he's using great weapons with that unit.
Okay.
Correct. So I'll go first and knock him down some. He'll have 1 or 2 or 3, maybe even 3 left. But
and they're not that armored, so yeah.
So anyway, that's what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving up my Wolf Riders to get rid of that unit.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm hoping. He's marking me. He's making me flammable. Oh, these guys he put on the thing makes them -1 to wound and shooting attacks. Some one of the alchemy
okay
things.
Yeah,
and of course makes this unit flammable.
Right.
Looks like a get launcher lands and puts 2 wounds on these guys, the guys in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Monstrous infantry. Other than that, not much to speak of. I actually did a wound to that tank up there with a fireball.
Oh, really?
With the scorching salvo, I think it was. Something plicked off, or something plicked a wound on it. So it's got 1 on it, I think. There we go. Did I go backwards? Must have. So here we go into his turn too. Let's look at that. Yeah. So I have plunked it a few times. We've got 3 wounds onto it.
Yeah.
No, there's why. Flaming swords. I put flaming swords on this to give it +1 to wound because I'm only strength 7 and he's toughness 6, I think.
Yeah.
So I need a 3. This brings it down to a 2. I did it and only did 1 wound to it.
Ah, okay.
So that's where that 3rd wound came from on it. Back in his turn, his unit of Hobgoblin shoots and puts
3 wounds on your
3 wounds on my big spider. That's 5s to hit and 6s to wounds. And 4 up armor. So, anyway. Not pleasant. He went ahead and charged me here in the middle of the field with both units.
Okay.
Which stretched him out a lot. I was kind of surprised he did this. But one of the problems...
This is the unit that was going to flee?
This is the unit that was supposed to be fleeing.
Yeah.
Correct. I kind of forgot my plan at this point. Anyway. And I sent one of the Mad Gits. I got enamored with the Mad Gits. One died when I launched it through the field. The other hit this unit on the left and did a couple wounds to it.
Okay.
He went through me, I guess, and took a bunch of wounds.
Right.
Because you can see there's a lot less
guys
than there was.
Yes.
But anyway, this is a problem. One of the problems with the maximizing rules is if you charge with a 20 millimeter and a 40 millimeter unit,
yes,
the 40 millimeter only gets to clip because you got to maximize models in contact. Right. And yeah, you can't do that well.
Yeah, and here it's not so bad because the spider's hemming him in, but if that spider wasn't there, yeah.
Well,
it's not intuitive.
If he would have gone in with just the flying guys, then that hurts me more because everyone in the front rank is taking the strength 4 burning body.
No, what I'm saying is to your point of the maximizing that the spider on the flank restricted his movement anyway.
A lot more, correct.
But so if that wasn't there, though, this is still the proper thing, and yeah, it's just not intuitive.
Well, he could have flipped them back the other way,
and
put the big guys on the other side.
But the same thing,
Right, but in this case, it would have been the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he came in there. That is a flammable marker on me, so and I'm in a field anyway, and it's just ugly. Bad things are ensuing. On the right hand side, you can see he's advanced forward with his Infernal engine and his unit. He's done a really good thing here in that this Infernal engine is blocking the line of sight from here to here.
Right.
Because I would really like to get this guy in there and just try to assassinate a character.
Yeah.
But he's making it so I can't see him. His centaurs did the deal. They did come up and fight my wolf riders, you can see. And he's going to blow them out and just sit where he is. Here, they killed a bunch of goblins. But
10.
It looks like a dozen. Yeah. Oh, no, it's 10. He only killed 10. And I'm steadfast and stick around. We checked, and you can't really see it from this, but the spider cannot see the dwarves, but it can see the other guys back there.
Okay.
It can see the back corner of them. And measure that, and it's 10 inches away.
Yeah, you'd rather see the dwarves.
I would rather see the dwarves because I can thunder stomp them, but...
So your angle is a little off.
The angle's where it's sitting right now is a little off. It got bumped when he was moving his tray around and reforming
No, I mean your spider's angle's a little off.
Oh, correct. He should have been angled much more. That's my fault. Completely my fault. He should have been angled more, and there's no reason for him not to be. The boar boys came up here on my turn to get within 16 of his closer unit of hobgoblins.
Right.
And give myself, because I'm
mostly behind
the hill, gives him the -2 to shoot at me.
Right, but you can still see him.
But I can still see him, and yeah. My idea from here was to do a move over to the left and then wheel back, and get ready to hit him. And of course, his wolf rider guy flanked me and circled around behind me when I came up like that. Which I let him loose. So the spider needs a 10 and rolls 3 1s.
Okay.
With its movement of 7.
Yeah.
Anything but.
That equals a 10.
It does, but you can only use 2 of those dice.
That's unfortunate.
I could not believe this was so bad. And this really, really hurt. Anyway. Because that would have tied up a lot of stuff. Goblins over here on this side, cave goblins, move forward out of the arc of the Infernal engine.
Yep.
But I didn't really want to fight them. I wanted to come up and launch Mad Gits.
Right.
And you see where they have launched. I launched them from this side, so they would go clip, and end up there. One didn't get far enough, so it just hit this, but the other one got through and hit both.
Didn't hit the building.
Didn't do anything. And stopped before it got to the building.
Yeah.
which was turned out to be a problem.
Didn't do anything?
Didn't do anything to the wagon.
Ah, okay.
But it did kill a few of these guys. You
Yeah.
can see they're missing some guys.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have that with my failed charge on my spider. Not real happy. That's the bottom of turn 3. Top of, yeah. Oh, my boar riders failed their frenzy check down here on the bottom left,
and failed their charge.
And had to declare a charge and failed and moved inched forward.
You're keeping your Nasher character behind the Infernal engine.
He tried to charge into the flank here.
Oh, okay.
And failed. Didn't mention that. He tried to charge
Yes.
into the flank here and failed. And because he rolled, the die roll was so low, he couldn't get past the Infernal
Right,
engine.
okay.
So he got kind of stuck right where he is.
Then I understand.
Elsewhere, he beat my goblins, and they
Shocking.
sent them running.
Mm-hmm.
Had the spider been in there, then it would have kept this unit off these.
Yeah.
But the spider was not there. You can see my characters have already started deserting the... there's my general over here. BSB and my mage have all deserted the unit.
Yeah.
They're moving out. I do have the concern of his... he does have a bolt thrower, but it's going to need 5s to hit me at that range.
Yeah.
Still fairly dangerous.
And your guys are fairly squishy.
And my guys will eat it and die. These two only have 2 wounds each,
Yeah.
so it's a good chance he kills me outright. The boar boys went in and they smashed the centaurs, took a wound,
They ran off the table.
and pursued them off the table. And there we have the overall view. So it's his turn, so he comes crashing into the flank of my unit.
Oh, I'm sorry. So why did you chaff up that thing? I
What?
guess the goblins aren't worth that many points, I guess.
Which one? Oh, I don't have anything to chaff him up with.
Your characters are too expensive.
The characters are too expensive, and
Yeah.
I think this goblin unit can hold.
Yeah.
This is the goblin. I mean, it's got the war banner, 3 ranks. I mean, I think it's going to be steadfast.
Mm-hmm. Did you turn your spider?
I think I'm going to kill it. The spider, I didn't have a choice. It was a failed charge. He wheeled 1 inch.
Yes. Yeah. So no, you didn't.
He wheeled 1 inch.
Yeah.
So these guys charge in, and after the combat, that's where we stand. I did hold and stuck around for 1 turn.
Mm-hmm.
You can see he's down to 10 now.
Yeah.
If you look, he was wider than that earlier.
Yes.
And I killed a couple when he came in, which brought him, so left me keep my steadfast. And then this is after the combat, he's reformed to get the 2nd rank.
Right.
2nd rank. Had he had the 2nd rank on the turn he came in, of course, I wouldn't have had steadfast.
Mm-hmm.
He would have disrupted me, and it would have been very bad. But
Now you have to kill somebody.
But now I've got to kill somebody to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my turn coming up.
Yeah.
And of course, he's lost one of his big guys, one of his monstrous infantry, and got 2 wounds on another one. But I think that was earlier.
I detect a character assault coming in.
Do you? Is that what you're sensing?
Yeah, that's what I'm sensing.
So, boar boys come back into the table. These boar boys have decided they still haven't had enough. They're going anyway.
So you're missing a guy.
They need 9s. That was his stand and shoot reaction. Yeah. They need a 9. Actually, no, that was his shooting during his turn.
Okay.
So they need a 9 to get in. They fail their... I, again, didn't want to take this because it's, 9 is still fairly long. But went ahead and, since they failed, they had to go. This time, my spider needs a 4. And I think he can still only see the big guys. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, the
Nasher needs a 9.
Nasher tries again to get here on a 9. The spider I didn't want to try, because if the spider fails, then the spider sits right here in front of this big guy.
How back did that go? Just a few grinding attacks.
Guessing it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah,
the boar boys made it. Woohoo! And the spider made it in this here as well. This time needing a 4, made it. He does got a hex on me. I think he's brought my armor down permanently by 1.
Ah, okay.
And these guys are strength 5, so that means they I have no armor versus them. I did charge with my spider. Now that I think about it, the spider charged into his tank, his Infernal engine. He's got 4 wounds left, and I've got 8 poison attacks. Is what I'm looking at. And I'm hoping. I don't think I did the math. He's got 3d3. He does 6 hits to me. He's strength 6, I believe.
Yeah.
So he wounds me half of those. So he only wounds me 3 times. So I've got 2 or 3 rounds of combat of poison attacks slipping through to kill it before he kills me.
Get into his armor.
What's that? His armor's 3 up.
Yeah.
So it sinks to 5 up. So anyway, my idea was I thought I could get through it.
Okay. And Mr. Nasher?
And Mr. Nasher tried the one over here, failed the charge.
Failed again. Okay.
Yeah, for the second turn in a row. He beat up my unit of goblins and they fled.
Yeah.
The spider did do some work on these guys. Brings them down to 2 models. He
did not chase
I think he reformed. He elected not to chase me. And reformed where he was. Because he wanted to be able to hit the war machine, and my characters are sitting out here in the field as well.
Yeah.
If he can get a charge off of my BSB, that means he rolls through to my mage, and he also wants to get my war machine. So he's set up there, and there's a different angle for that one. You can see he's fairly close there. So this was my turn. My turn. Is that the goblin? No, they didn't rally yet. It wasn't my turn. So I come in. He only did a single wound to me. I've got flaming swords on myself as well, which improves the odds a bit.
That's a bit different, yes.
But still didn't manage to do enough to kill him. Actually, I think I only did 1. Boar boys over here slammed through this unit, smashed it. The hobgoblins made their break check and their panic check and stuck around.
And you lost to the hobgoblins or dangerous terrain?
I lost them to the hobgoblins. Okay. I was convinced I was going to lose them to dangerous terrain, but there we have that. And moving on to his turn 4. Then you see where the conveniently placed Madgit is hovering around behind his Infernal machine, keeping my boar boys off of it.
Yes.
Because I wanted to try even the mad charge from the rear just to do damage to it.
Right.
And of course, again, like I've said before, any attacks he directs at that are not going at the spider.
Yeah. That'd be good against the rear of that infantry unit too.
They might be. I would like to get them somewhere, but the thing's still just plugging me up. Moving on, back to his turn, bottom of 4. They decide to charge into first he charges my BSB and sends him packing. He flees all the way out here. He fled through, I think, my general who made his check, stuck around. So then he decided to redirect into my Git launcher and makes it easy. His hobgoblins move forward. And back to up forward. He's just fighting there. No movement needed there. So his skewer fires and kills 2 of the 3 of these guys. He had them within 24.
Guy on the flank, okay.
Yep, got me in the flank. I mean, it was an overrun. I'm nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
But I still have 1 left. And they are immune to panic. So these guys crushed my war machine pivot, face back out towards the center of the board. He doesn't want any part of the spider anymore. He doesn't want to be thunderstomped anymore, but now he's got my artillery and my character still lined up. Then he thought better of it because he did this and then said, oh wait, we still haven't done the spider combat yet, have we? And said, okay, I'm going to do this instead. So just in case. Which turned out to be a smart move because the spider finished off the other 2 guys.
Yep, I guess working it out the other way around.
What's that?
The fights.
Smart if you switch the fights, yes. Yeah. And the spider's checking over here, and the spider is in the flank of that dwarven unit up top. Is that after or before? Yeah, there you go.
It's before.
So just a different angle for that. So this time he puts 3 wounds on my spider, which hurts. And it leaves. It's a leadership 9 check, stubborn 9, but it fails it. The BSB is fleeing, so doesn't have a chance.
Can't reroll, and your goblins also ran away.
And my goblins lost their other fight and ran as well. So we have that going into my turn 5.
Okay.
I do have the, I still have the spider with the leadership 9, and I'll, if the BSB rallies, then it'll be a rerollable 9 for him.
Right.
But he has angled the dwarves in the center of the board back to be in the front of the spider. So turn 5, spider and the Nasher, Cave Nasher.
There you go.
Decide to double team this thing, try to hurt it. It's got like 2 wounds left. Based on where I am, if I hit it, the spider's overrunning into his dwarves, and so is the Nasher.
Yeah, I thought you'd go into the flank of the dwarves.
The Nash will be in the flank. The spider will not.
I mean, when you first charged, he was on the flank, right?
No.
He pivoted.
He pivoted when he beat the other guys.
Yeah.
It was. So my cave goblins do not rally. They continue to run.
Which a spider does.
But my BSB rallies and my spider rallies.
Okay.
Also, my goblins in the center of the board, which needed a 5, don't rally, and they continue running past the mess. I think I took another wound or 2 running through his stuff.
Yep, and now we're going to run through a building shortly.
And getting ready to run through a building. So there we have that. We do this fight, and he stands again. Is this... Yeah, the board over here comes around. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I just want keeping the woods between me and the bolt thrower. I am a scoring unit. I was looking for a mad dash towards the center, but it's too late for that. Rock Lobber fires and splatters into the hobgoblins.
They panic.
It does a bunch of damage. They panic and run, which is good because that was a scoring unit heading towards the objective.
Yeah.
The Git Launcher fires and knocks this unit down to
4 dudes.
3 models and his
3
guy, his BSB, or his general. I believe that was his general. His BSB's in this unit back here.
Oh, okay.
Coming over here, he directs his attacks onto my Cave Nasher, wipes it out,
and
he does survive. And that's what we're looking like. Going into the bottom of 5. So, unit of dwarves hits me in the flank.
And your Nasher keeps acting as a blade of armor for him.
My Mad Git is just hanging out there, making sure it stays between me and him.
Yeah,
it's doing a great job. And there with that, fleeing. Smashes me in the flank. I've got 4 wounds on me going in. Fires his bolt thrower. And my 5 boar boys coming around the corner take 2 wounds. Knock them down to 3. Which is not too bad. Now I might be able to squeak past.
I can squeeze in,
yeah. We do kill his infernal machine thing with my spider. I've directed all my attacks on it and did let the goblins and Thunderstomp go into the guys. But he still wins. He wins that combat. I think I stuck around anyway. I did. Here the board boys failed their leadership check and decide they're going to go charge.
Okay.
And do not make it through the Nasher.
Yeah.
I mean the guy.
So you shot this guy up some more?
I shot him up. We eliminated the unit and put 2 wounds on him.
Okay.
So he's 1 wound away from dying, going into the bottom of the 6th turn.
Missed it by that much.
I did. Not thrilled. These guys killed my spider. He got the reroll, the thing to reroll his 2 wounds on me.
Mm-hmm.
He made me flammable.
Oh, you guys rallied.
My guys finally rallied back there. They're within 12, I think. No, they weren't, but they were within 18.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys killed my orange spider. They put 4 wounds on it on the final turn. Just not happy. This is BSB there in the middle with 2 wounds on him, floating around. And that is, I believe, where it ended. This guy with 2 wounds on him. It's BSB with 2 wounds on him. And on the 6th turn, back up for once. 6th turn, this unit pivoted and moved 3 to get within 6 of the of the center of the board, rather than go mop up something. Because anything he would have charged, I would have sat just to make it do it. And there they are. There's your big hat guys. He did cast something on me on the final turn to kill me. I think it was a silver spike.
Okay.
Shot me down with that. And ended up being 20. It was a close game. It was 27-50 to 25-14. So it was just 11, not barely into an 11-9 win. But he had the objective and I didn't, which bumped it way up to a 14-6.
Right.
Same thing we've always talked about, how big that secondary objective is.
Yeah, I like that.
But which is a big thing in the game now. But yeah, and that's a 400-point shot right there that I couldn't dispel.
Yeah.
I was willing to let anything go through, but that one made it. And this guy both surviving with a wound left.
Yeah, it's always rough when that happens.
Is tough, but it happens. And it all came down to that spider failing a 3-inch charge.
Yeah.
Needing a 3 and rolling 2, basically.
Well, had you fled with your goblins, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Had I fled with the goblins, it would not have been an issue. And I even talked about that, and that was my plan going in, and didn't do it.
He lulled you into a false sense of security.
He did. I thought I could crush them both.
Yes.
Apparently, I'm not right. Yeah. So, but anyway, that was it. Good opponent. It was a fun game. And like I said, it was close, 11-9.
Yeah.
But couldn't quite squeak that out, and he did get the bonus thing. The boar rider hitting the hobgoblins and overrunning a long way meant he could not get back into the objective, and the other guy spent too much time on the other side of the board. They should have been doing something else.
That's the downside of those feral guys.
Right. But anyway, well played game by my opponent, and yeah, he crushed me. 14-6. It's 14-6 in a 200-point different game.
Yeah.
So anyway,
less than 200.
What's that? Well, a little over 3.
Yeah.
A little over 2.
Yeah. A little over less than 300. Yeah.
I think it breaks at 225.
Ah.
So it's like, that's what, 236.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's going to do it. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.